Hello and welcome, my Capricorn friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for joining me today and watching this video. This is going to be my group monthly forecast for my Capricorn friends. Today we're going to explore what you can expect from the month of January. We're going to look at those obstacles. However, more importantly, we're going to look at ways to overcoming those challenges and blessings that you can embrace throughout the month. The decks I'm using for this reading, I'm going to be using the Crystal Visions Tarot and then the Dragon Oracle. Like always, there are links below to both these fantastic decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. Alright, my Capricorn friends, let's see what the cards have to say. What can my Capricorn friends expect in January? Alright, this is an amazing dragon, the Mega Dragon. Harness that divine feminine power of creation. That feminine, healing, nurturing energy will help not only overcome some of the obstacles in January, but help with that healing and movement forward, that transformation. Really starting to create new aspects in your life and nurturing ones that we need to see flourish. Alright, let's move on into January. What card represents January for my Capricorn friends? The Ace of Swords. January is going to bring you those pieces of knowledge that are going to help with that transformation and creation. Now, January is an interesting month. I've been doing these readings in this series for a while now, and as I've been going through the different zodiac, there's a lot of information and a lot of high vibrational beings are talking about preparation right now. And that's what the Ace of Swords is really giving us. It gives us that structure and platform, because in 2020, not only are we starting a new year in January, we're starting a new decade. In 2020, we have to start to build a foundation for upcoming change. In the early 2030s, we're going to be looking at a high vibrational shift as a collective, not just as a person, as a race, as a plane. We're going to see a shift upwards. We saw one around, it was in 2012 that we had this last shift. And many of us felt that shift and didn't know what it was. This one's going to be bigger. We need a better, more secure foundation to build off of. And we need that knowledge. And you're going to get it, my Capricorn friends, as a download. Don't be surprised if throughout the month you start to get headaches, because this information is going to come in, and it comes in fast and furious. Having pen and paper and your phone close so that you can just start babbling into it real quick will help, because some of it will not make sense. Downloads usually come to fruition a lot of times through when we're having dreams or meditation. It comes in, it's a high-pitched squeal in your ear, and it's not just when your high vibrational beings are trying to talk to you. It is an insensitive, ear-piercing squeal, and it can last for a while depending on how big that download is, and then your brain has to catch up to process what was just thrown into your head, causing those headaches. So my suggestion to you, not only to have that pen and paper, drink lots of water, because your brain's going to be running on overtime. Let's look at this month a little bit more. What does the beginning of January bring my Capricorn friends? And that's the Page of Cups. Pages are that playful, inquisical, childlike energy. And it's that inquisical mind that's really going to help questioning and having a little bit of fun. Downloads can be kind of painful sometimes, depending on how sensitive you are to them. And so having some fun with it and really allowing that information to unfold will be important. Embracing that inner child, connecting into your intuition, and doing things in a playful, inquisical, kind of think of it as you're letting out your toddler and asking all those questions, because that inquisical energy will help you decipher what's happening with this major download. Let's look at the middle of the month. What does the middle of January bring, my Capricorn friends? The Seven of Swords. Sevens are a challenge card. Swords about truth and knowledge. The Seven of Cups, or the Seven of Swords, talks about trying to get away with just a little too much. The Page of Cups and that sword, the Ace of Swords, are going to make you feel like you are invincible. You have all this information and you can do so much. You're really going to have to check yourself, because we may have that information and we may know kind of what we're doing, but until we've really nurtured these skills and abilities, it's like saying to a toddler, go ride a BMX bike or go ride a motorbike. They may know what they are. They may even know where the handlebars are, but they may not know how to really, truly get in there and work with it. So being careful and mindful of what you expect of yourself and what you tell others you can do. Let's look at the end of the month. What does the end of January bring, my Capricorn friends? And that's the Six of Swords. Sixes are about balance and harmony. That sword again is about truth and knowledge. As you can kind of see, there's a pattern emerging here, my Capricorn friends. That knowledge piece is going to be key for you. What the Six of Swords is saying is that this is a journey card. The original card had a woman and a child being taken across a body of water by a ferryman. It's going to be a very mindful and controlled journey that you're going to have to go on. We're going to have to take some of the stuff that we may not be happy or proud of with us. However, we're not doing it alone. Similar to this card, we have, well, and you can't see it in this card, but in the energy of the card, we have a ferryman with us. We have our guides and guardians that are going to help us with this journey and help us really connect in to where it is we need to go and give us guidance on what we're going to do once we've passed this body of water. And the body of water is very clear. On one side, on the right side, it's really choppy, bumpy, and wavy, where on the other side it's placid. And we're going to that placid area. We are starting to build that foundation. We need to take it slow. We need to really gain that knowledge before we get going too quickly. Let's look at the challenges. What is the overall challenge that my Capricorn friends will face in January? And that's the Ten of Swords. Events, situations have happened in our lives, and events and situations are similar to the sword. Swords don't have emotion. They can't. They're cold, hard steel. It's us as emotional beings that attach those emotions to events and situations. Sometimes we attach, very high vibrational, happy energy. We can really assimilate and use that energy, and we can really bring ourselves some prosperity in it. It's when it's a little lower vibration that it sticks to us like residue or a gooey, messy ick. And I'm not gonna lie, there are situations and events that there's nothing other than a low vibrational energy that we can attach to it. Because there's events and situations, things we do to each other that are really crappy. So those lower vibration, those events and situations that sit with us the hardest, that's what's going to really be our challenge. Those downloads are one thing. That information is fantastic. However, we are going to be triggered, and our ego is going to throw in our face these events and situations to slow us down. This transformation is going to scare our ego, and it's going to try and do anything to stop you from doing this. Now, you can call on the Mega Dragon to try and help and soothe some of this. She's not going to be able to really fix it or pull them out, because we know we're going to be carrying stuff with us. However, when they start to really rear their head, we are going to be able to bring down that pain and really call it for what it is. Even addressing it and saying, you know what, this is my ego playing in my face. I need to really focus on what's truly important. And also a big part of it, when we start to label it like that, we can reclaim some of our power, because as these swords are sticking into us, we've attached tethers to them, and that individual, that place, that situation still is sucking out our energy. Taking back some of our power shrinks that connection. Later on, we're going to have to do some work in cutting those tethers and really addressing those situations. However, January isn't that time. January is a time for gaining that information, getting that direction, and being able to start this journey. Let's look at the beginning of January. What challenges, oh, we're starting to get a lot of jumpers here, do my Capricorn friends face in the beginning of January? All right. Okay. So the first card that jumped out, the Four of Wands. It's going to be that celebration, that family, those fun things that are going to kind of take over that child and pull them off their inquisition of the barrage of questioning. Those fun celebrations, those events, those things that we try and keep ourselves busy because it's dark and we don't really want to deal with the darkness. We want to have fun and get out of those January funks. That kind of stuff is going to really impact our ability to focus in on what's truly important. The Ace of Wands. So in your download that you're going to get, you're also going to get different creative aspects and ideas, because this is knowledge. Well, some of our creative pieces are knowledge based. So you're going to get these amazing ideas, and that's going to spark that inner child and going, ooh, this is amazing. I need to work on it. This is not a time to working on stuff. That pen and paper or that recording is going to be important. All this information is going to be important. It's going to really help us along our journey. However, that action and really focusing in on one piece will take away and you will miss some of your download. It's important to keep your mind open so you can receive that information and not get stuck. The Ace of Cups. This is that intuition and connection. You're going to really feel at some point in times that your connection is really, really strong, and then at others it's not going to be there. You're going to be like, hello, is this connection working? The reason that's happening is because you're having a download. And that kind of, it's like a long distance call. It'll take up that vibration. And like I said, it can cause headaches, which can impact that as well. So it's going to be a real balance, because there are going to be times that you think, really, I'm making some leeway with my guides and my guardian. I feel great. And then the download's going to start and you're going to feel very disconnected. And then finally, the Six of Wands. Sixes are about balance and harmony. We're really going to feel off kilter here. When we have downloads and we're dealing with a shift like this, between the download and the Ten of Swords, you're going to feel really off. It's going to feel kind of all topsy-turvy. It's the Six of Swords, like I said, that choppy water, that's what we're coming from. We're going to be moving on, but that choppy water we're going to be stuck in for a few weeks here. Working on our balance, identifying that's a problem, and really being conscious when we start to feel a little disorientated, when we start to feel disconnected, to go in, work on our grounding, check that our energies are flowing well so that we are able to try and realign ourselves and reestablish some balance will really go a long way. Let's look at the middle of the month. What challenges will my Capricorn friends face in the middle of January? the Wheel of Fortune, the 10th card in the Major Arcana, and it's that resistance to change. We're going to feel kind of confused because we're going to be questioning our abilities. We're going to think we're going to be able to do more than what we can. And it's going to be that resistance that is going to cause some challenges, not only in that download, but to understand that download. Because we're going to miss aspects, because we're going to start to shut down. Our ego is really in play. This is really starting to freak out your ego, and your lower vibrational self will start to retaliate. So we do have a number of multiples that I've missed here. So we've got double sixes, the Six of Swords, or the Six of Wands and the Six of Swords. In angel messages, the angels are telling you it's a time to balance between your physical and spiritual world. Then we had 3 ones. So those multiple aces or multiple ones, the angels are telling you to believe in yourself and your abilities. And then finally, the multiple 10. The angels there are telling you it's a time of personal development and spiritual enlightenment. And I know that's kind of what we were talking about. However, I'd like to point out these angel messages to show you how these messages are hidden within plain sight and can be easily overlooked. Let's go on to the end of January. What challenges will my Capricorn friends face at the end of January? And that's the Queen of Wands. That feminine energy is going to come up. Now we've got the Mega Dragon that's going to help us with that divine creation, and we're going to be able to harness some of this power. However, near the end of the month, you're going to find that that divine feminine energy is really going to push your sacral chakra into overdrive. And that's what's going to happen with the Queen of Wands. That sensuality and creativity is going to be at a high. And we're going to have to check that and redirect that energy so that we're able to move forward rather than starting to create some of this Ace of Wands that we had, those great ideas. Like I said, this is not a time for that creation. This is all about knowledge and all about gaining those skills and abilities and reawakening to them so that we can embrace this energy. However, right now, we need to tame the sacral chakra. All right, let's go on to a blessing. What blessing can my Capricorn friends embrace in the beginning of January? Source Dragon attunes you to the infinite. This dragon, the Source Dragon, will be helping you with your download. The beginning of the month, you're seeing a lot more challenges because that's when the download is really going to come in hot and heavy. And it's going to be the Source Dragon that's going to help direct that and help be a part of that. All right, let's look at the middle of the month. What blessings can my Capricorn friends embrace in the middle of the month? The Orange Dragon brings souls, families, and community together. And it's going to be that connection to our soul family, our spirit family, that is going to help us. They know us through vibration, not through our physical body. And they can be, and many times are, passed on loved ones. They're individuals that we have been incarnated with. We're connected to them. But the Orange Dragon is going to connect some of our lost family members and some of our community members, because families start working together and again be incarnated together. So the Orange Dragon really helps to strengthen the bonds and reconnect some of those bonds that we need. Like I said, here we have tethers and bonds to things, and some of them we've kind of let slack, and we need to strengthen them so we can gain more guidance and direction from those higher vibrational pieces. Your spirit family is in a high vibrational plane, so they have better sight than what we do. They don't have the grandest sight, but they have a bit better than what we have. The archangels and the universe have the best view and best roadmap to what that bigger picture looks like. However, your astral family or your spirit family does have a better view, and they also have connection into the Akashic records where that universal plan is unfolding and is being held. All right, let's look at the end of the month. What blessing can my Capricorn friends embrace at the end of January? The dusty pink dragon prepares all your clairs to embody that higher love. Most of us need work on our chakras. Unless we've had our chakra system overhauled and replaced, there's work to be done. And the dusty pink dragon really supports us in getting that work started so that we are able to embrace this higher vibration and these amazing healing energies to help us prepare ourselves for what's coming in the next 10 years. And then the dark blue galactic dragon helps you listen to the voice of the universe. And that's kind of what when we start to work on our clairs and we start to open ourselves up, we do start to really hear and feel and see. Our clairs start to work and we have a better connection in, and that's what we're looking at in the dark blue galactic dragon. When we start to connect in and strengthen our relationships and our connections with those higher vibrational beings and the universe. Let's look at some insight. What guidance and information can we share with my Capricorn friends to overcoming the challenges of January and embracing the blessings that the month holds? The first one, the King of Swords. That's not surprising. The amount of knowledge that's going to be downloaded is going to be fierce for you. We've got more swords on this table than anything else. And it's going to be that knowledge piece that will be key. So the King of Swords, kings having the most fully developed personality, they have the most control and the most strength in their suit. Swords, truth and knowledge. That king really brings it down to the point of we're focusing on knowledge. Screw the emotion. We need to have that information. Let's go. The Two of Pentacles. The quintessential balance card. That importance and need for balance and remaining centered through all of this will be imperative. Like I said, you're going to have the balance shift here. Well, the Two of Pentacles is here to support you in feeling centered and grounded. Connecting into that earthy strength will really help you not only in that download, but processing some of that information. And I won't lie, some of it will not make any sense until later on, and it can be years that I'm talking. This is not something that is going to be a quick process. We need to really let things unfold in their natural way. And then we have the King of Cups. Again, we have that fully developed personality. This one is an emotion and intuition. So really trusting in our intuitive abilities, even though we may feel disconnected, trusting that it is there because we have that knowledge now. We have two brothers working in tandem here. We have that knowledge that it's a download. And it's similar to when we had the initial internet, where you had to use the same phone line that you used to make personal calls to get onto the internet. We had to dial in, and it was a process. That's the same as a download. So knowing that that information is going to disrupt some of our clairs and some of our ability to connect in and channel will make a difference. The King of Cups also adds that additional stability of emotional support. Because let's be honest, we know that the 10 and the 3 of Swords is going to be a bear. It's going to hurt. We know that the past pains of the Ten of Swords are kind of icky, and we know that they're not fun. However, that knowledge is key. It's going to help with that stability, because we're going to be able to identify it and say, this is my ego playing up. This information is not relevant for right now. I need to stay true to my course, and I need to focus in on what's truly important. That identification and labeling will help you to get that information and overcome that instability. Now we've got the brothers here, the double kings. They're the 14th card in the minor arcana. And when you have double 14s like that, the angels are telling you that this is a time of love and spiritual growth. And that love is going to be very important, because we're going to have to love ourselves a lot during this process, because we're going to be confronted with some sadder, darker times, needing to overcome them by labeling them, calling in on the mega dragon for some healing, and really nurturing ourselves. Now, before I get going too much further, I should talk about the dragons. The dragons are high vibrational beings. They're not animals. And you're going to hear a lot of people say, oh, well, the dragons are in my animal totem, or I use that as a power animal, or they're my spirit animal. They're not animals. They're high vibrational beings. Now, we do have dragons that are animals. The bearded dragon, the Komodo dragon. They're a lizard. These are not reptilian. These are high vibrational beings. And so it's kind of disrespectful for us to say, oh, well, it's just an animal. Comparing it to something like a wolf or a horse, and they are very majestic and amazing. However, it really minimizes their true potential and really devalues them a bit. And it's not them complaining, it's more me saying that's really kind of disrespectful. We wouldn't say that to like an archangel saying, oh, I put Archangel Michael in my totem because I really am impressed by all his power and strength. It's really disrespectful. So these are high vibrational beings, they're not animals, and to really respect them for what they are going to offer us and what they can support us with. The same is said in this rant, and I know I'm ranting, I'm sorry. The same can be said about unicorns. They too are not animals. They look like what we call an animal. However, they're high vibrational beings. And we know this because they are not on this plane. They are not from this plane. They're from a different plane. They also have the ability to heal and make changes on an astral level. You don't see a cat going through and going, oh, I'm just going to transmute this energy and we're going to be great. That said, animals do have healing properties, just not to what a dragon or a unicorn can do. Think of them more on the lines of an angel and fairy line. We wouldn't disrespect them by saying, oh, yeah, those fairies, they're really cute. I have them in my totem. We need to kind of shift our thinking and take them out of our totems and be more respectful to these amazing, majestic creatures, these beings, so that we can really connect in and make some shifts, because in the next 10 years we need to make them. And the dragons did leave us for a little while because we weren't ready. They are back, and they've been back for almost 10 years now. We're pushing, I think they're at 8. Came back in about 2012, the majority of them. So they've been here, and they're just waiting for us to ask them. They're bound by that same universal law that all high vibrational beings are bound by. We need to ask for that help. They cannot step in on our behalf. Also, another piece, these are groups of angels, or groups of dragons. These are types of dragons. You can call on an orange dragon, and your kids can call on an orange dragon, or your sister or brother or the pizza guy. There's more than one of them. They are not omnipresent, which means they can't be in multiple places at once. However, there's more than one of them. So it's not a big deal. Not everybody in the world could request the help of one specific dragon because there's not that many of them. There's not millions of them. There's a great number of them, a vast number of them. However, they are limited, so we do have to ask. So if you ask for some help and one doesn't appear right away, you may have to wait a few minutes. All right, let's get into the final blessing. What blessing can we offer my Capricorn friends for January? Okay. So the first card that hit the table, the Earth and Fire Dragon, works with you to clear the 5th dimensional ley lines. It's actually funny, science is kind of catching up to the woo-woo, although we're way ahead of the science. So the ley lines that are on Earth extend throughout the universe here, but they also extend to different vibrations and different dimensions. The Earth Fire Dragon will help you clear out that negativity and those low vibrational energies to really help with that grounding and feeling secure in your area. The Aquamarine Dragon enables you to accept your deeper soul wisdom. Goes back to what the Source Dragon is going to offer you. That deeper soul's wisdom is going to come through partly in that download, because Source is going to be directing you. We really need to connect in to that energy and accept what the universe is offering us. Now, I am going to say it again, we will not understand all of it. Write it down, and if you can, verbatim, because it will make sense as you go along. And then finally, the Golden Christed Dragon, bringing you that higher love so that you can embody that Christ light. Now, many people are triggered by the word Christ or God. So the Golden Dragon embodies that universal, unconditional, loving energy. And that's what it's embodying, that universal light. People like to put in Christ and God to connect in with groups of people, and that's how they label that. Whether that's Source, God and Goddess, the universe, whatever you name it, it's that same energy. And that's what the Golden Dragon really wants you to connect into, that universal energy, and it will help heal and help you on this path. That healing piece is going to be immensely important as we go forward. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you're able to gain some guidance and insight into what January is going to hold for you and some of these amazing blessings that we can embrace. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. If you've seen my past videos, you know I'm not just a tarot reader. I bring in those high vibrational beings and we're working on that healing aspect as well. And the more I've done in this series, the more I am realizing that I do need to connect in and do some more teaching and education on some of the high vibrational beings, because we talk about them and people don't know and understand what all these angels and archangels are, but we talk about them and encourage people to use them. We talk about the dragons. I'm going to be talking about the unicorns and embracing some of these energies. So don't be surprised when you start to see some kind of educational and tutorial style pieces on these very amazing high vibrational beings. So as you can tell, you really never know where I'm going to go next. And to stay connected, the best way is through subscribing to the channel and to hitting that little red bell so you are not missing any of the healing and guidance that the high vibrational beings want to share with you. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. In some of the tiers, the perks are private readings with myself. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Capricorn friends.